Welcome to the 217 Recovery Podcast.
If you don't make mistakes, you won't learn.
With your host, Cori Winfield.
You know how fish is bad is you can't put it on pizza.
And special guests, Cori Smoker.
I don't want to hear the here over here, but then I know what you're skipping down the street over there doing, you know?
And Mitchell O'Brien.
I think to introduce people, we should tell them a little bit about ourselves.
Got your ass.
Mm-hmm. Welcome. It is the 16th of August, 2024. My name is Cori Winfield.
I'm Cori.
Jesus criminy. I hope this isn't someone's first time listening. Wow, this podcast is great. You should check it out. And they turn it on and they're like, what?
Well, I'm Cori Smoker.
I'm Mitchell O'Brien.
Oh, this podcast just got
dilapidated
real quick. My goodness. That's how you start a Friday podcast. That's been a long week, I'm telling you. That's how it goes, man.
It flew by for me. Flew by.
You know, like Monday sucked forever. Then Tuesday, I'm like, is it Friday yet? And then yesterday, I was on a phone call with somebody, and I was like, man, is it Friday yet? And he was like, he was like trying to get us a new office space with our same landlord, and I don't know. But anyway, I was like, or we can come, tomorrow. And he's like, okay, tomorrow. So maybe Friday, then tomorrow. And I'm like, oh, geez. Friday's like only a day away. Like it felt like I was still stuck in Tuesday. Anyway, so it's been a long week for all of us. Cori Smoker, you are now employed by 217 Recovery. How's that going?
It's going amazing.
Your second day. It's a little different.
It is a little different, but I like it. I feel comfortable. I've got to talk to a couple clients, had some clients in the office today, and then I'm just trying to figure out some Zoom trainings and stuff Marnie's. I'm going to pick up with Marnie and start doing recovery-friendly workplace stuff, and then I'm doing some trainings online. And
yeah, we kind of throw you to the wolves and then like figure it out. And you kind of were very familiar with 217 Recovery anyway, so you kind of had a head start. If we were just hire somebody off the street, they'd be like, what is going on? And Mitch, you've been around for a while now. Any advice for her just starting out?
Just get that phone greeting down pat and we'll be good.
It's 217.com. Hello, 217recovery.com. I heard the phone answered that way today, maybe, huh?
That was right after we talked about it because somebody made a first-timer mistake, and I understand. And then I just mentioned... Every once in a while, if I'm like on the website or something and the phone rings, I'll be like, 217recovery.com. And I'm like, oh, damn it. And then...
Which is still better than Addiction Treatment Services.
Yeah.
I told her she could just add this across the street. This
I
is
was
217 Recovery.
Happy that it was one of our friends at the Community Recovery Alliance because then I just got done saying that I used to screw that up and then I answered the phone that way.
I'll show you how it's done.
Yeah. They just went with it.
217recovery.com. What?
Meet halfway.
Yeah, Corey's got this new, I would have been just lying. I would just make Corey's got this new thing where he really wants to push the website. So I don't know. We're just doing websites.
He blew right past it. He didn't care. So
yeah, that's good. Hey, got a guy. I need to get him treatment. Okay, now we're talking.
Yep, got you.
Yeah, we still do that. But I told her when she had answered Addiction Treatment Services, it could have been like they're across the street or formally. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, formerly known.
I wonder if it's going to confuse people too. And she's like, 217 Recovery, this is Corey. And people are like, what?
Yeah,
like, Corey was a dude. I've met him before. What?
Well, this is 2024 in America. So
sometimes people will call us when they're messed up.
Yeah.
I didn't want to say effed up.
Intoxicated.
Oh, yeah, or a little not there.
Mm-hmm.
And it could really confuse them. This one guy I'm thinking of in particular, he'll call and he'll start singing on the voicemail. Like it'll just be like we come in and we're like, "Whoa, that was a rough weekend," for that guy. But if he calls and you answer and he'll be like, huh? Like it's gonna trip him up. So it'll be fun and interesting. And then when they start calling, Mitch, the people, they're always like, "Hello, is Cori there?" Their accents. They're
I'm gonna say, yeah,
not from America. And they were like, "Oh, that's good because have you interested in the life insurance and the health insurance and blah blah blah? You want to be Man of the Year award?" That'll really trip them up.
It's usually something personal because our phone number at one time was not a business line.
Right.
And so then I'll be like, "This is a business," and they just click.
I know some ass hung up on me last week.
Yeah.
He's like, "Mary there," and I'm like, "No."
Yeah, those are the ones. Yep.
And they hung up. I was like, "Oh, you don't hang up on me. I hang up on you, you jerk." I was talking to one guy today earlier. His name was Daniel. Apparently, that's a popular name in the Middle East, wherever he may be from. India, I would assume, but I really don't think that's his name.
I don't think so.
And he was really trying to sell me some insurance, and I don't think it was met with the answers I was giving him because he was real kind of confused. You could tell there's like a sheet in front of him, and he didn't really know where to pivot. And then finally, when I was like, "No," and he's like, and it was just the awkward dismount for us. And then I wished him a good day and so, goodbye, Daniel.
He's like, "Who? Oh,
Yeah.
no, it's me."
He's gonna go to his boss now. What do I say when they just talk about this other stuff?
I get the Facebook message scammer versions of those because they're fun to play with.
I don't get those.
You ain't in the same corners of the internet I am.
I guess not. And I'm not sad that I don't get those. I'm just saying. Cori looks a little lost.
I'll stay on the corner of the internet I'm on.
There we go. Mitch and Justin will play over there. Oh, I wish I had the dick pic to drop. Which we got to play it now that I brought it up.
Drop your dick pic.
So yesterday, you were doing a podcast with one Justin Burke,
Yeah.
and
A treasure of
you found gold.
entertainment. Yeah.
You
It
call
was my holy grail is what I called it.
okay.
Yeah.
It is. It's something that I'm about to play it, and you're going to lose your mind if you hear this. But I'm going to play it in the whole context.
So are you playing both or just
Yes.
the one? Okay. Because
Yes,
that wasn't one whole clip. That was a little bit of this one. And there was like 30 seconds of talking in between the first and the second one. I just sent them to you like that. And I think I put them those two clips. But
all right. Well, let's just give that a listen real quick.
yeah.
And so that really got me thinking about how well that movie dictated that, with talking to a psychiatrist. The thumbnail totally does not depict the movie at all.
Dick pic?
Whatever, dude.
I tried not to say something the first time. Anyway.
Yeah. So
Totally does not depict.
yeah. So whenever you can use that in the sentence now. Oh, Mitch, the way you came in to work today
Totally does not depict.
totally does not dick pic. You can use that. And maybe it's part of this alpha generation. They come up with this new slang and this Ohio giddly, or I don't even know what it's called.
You got that Riz, man.
No, but that doesn't dick pic.
Totally does not depict.
That doesn't dick pic, bro.
He's going to be so mad at me. It's great. I just breezed past the first one. I
Totally
obviously
does
heard
not
it.
depict.
I side to side looking for you. Like, nobody heard this. Nobody heard this. It's being recorded. And then 20 seconds later, it got even better with the dick pic. And I couldn't not say something. Oh, yeah.
One more again.
And so that really got me thinking about how well that movie dictated that, with talking to a psychiatrist. The thumbnail totally does not depict the movie at all.
Dick pic?
Whatever, dude.
I tried not to say something the first time. I just anyway. I couldn't not. I had to acknowledge it.
You had to at that point. The first one, okay. Like there's more coming. If we stopped them every time, there would never be a podcast. I mean,
He did the Pacific the other day. And it made me think, have you ever seen that Duck Dynasty? The beard guys,
yeah.
Yeah, he's our Uncle Si.
Yes, he is.
Yeah.
He truly is.
It's like should ask him if he's ever been to Vietnam. Like,
afraid of his answer. Cori Smoker is like red. She's laughing. So I know, but that made it to the podcast. White knuckling it.
Yeah, it's in the episode. In the middle of it, and they're right next to each other, like 15, 20 seconds apart.
Yeah, so check out the White Knuckling It podcast.
He thinks I'm mixing it down to post it, and I'm chopping them up to send to you.
You guys are both on the shit list now.
Well, I would have felt...
Totally does not dick pic.
That doesn't dick pic.
I would have felt this bad, just a little tiny bit bad, if it was like his memory card, but there was also the issue with the memory card.
Yes.
And so it was my memory card, and so I was like, I'm gonna do whatever I want with what I'm in possession of.
Yeah, 9/10 of the law, but in that case, it's 100% of the law that's yours. So
He was in there. He's like, I don't consent to any of this. I'm gonna sue you guys for defecation or something like that.
I'm sure he didn't use that word.
No, I'm gonna say it's defamation, right? You know, so I would assume he would. Say
He would probably say defecation. He's probably been sued for that, so he might know that word though.
That was my thing.
Mitch is losing it.
We're going to have to start having English class here on.
That's why Marty wants to start a book club.
Yeah, we could start pronunciation.
Specifically for...
Oh, no, there's not a lot of words in the poo books either, so we can start them out lightly. And I'd be afraid how he'd mess up the word Tigger.
Totally does not dick pic.
We need to pack this shit up and act like we never even recorded this one.
No, we don't let it down.
That might be...
Can we call this episode Fun Friday now?
Yeah.
Oh, I went from... Oh, gosh. That might be the hardest I've ever laughed at a podcast.
Here at 217 on Fridays, we like to promote fun and recovery.
Totally does not dick pic.
This is not dick pic what we do here. We are about having fun and recovery. However.
Oh, man. When you said dick painted, I want to say you did what to your what? Just let it go. Let it go.
You guys are assholes. That's what I was going to say. Have you
did.
just met us? Like, I mean, I've known you for a few years now, man. Like,
I'm like, dude, you give me so much crap. We do it because we love you, man.
yeah. We do. And I'm mad at him, so I get it's that mad love.
Oh, I'm crying. Oh, okay. What were we talking about?
I mean, recovery and stuff.
We're sober today.
Yes. We are.
Yep.
We are sober. Cori, yeah, it's her first day. So and you started on a Thursday, which most people are like, why would you start on a Thursday? Well, because this is what we do. And it fell on our paydays to where you wouldn't have to miss a paycheck. And how we do our paydays, like we pay up to date. So it just made sense that you started on a Thursday. But has anything surprised you so far?
No.
Nothing?
No.
No.
No. I already kind of knew what was probably headed my way. And then I was going to be working in an office with these guys. And so I was like, that wasn't ever like a contemplation. Like, can I work with these guys? Or I knew that I could. And, sitting up there, you just don't know what you might hear. And that's okay.
Sitting up there, you hear everything that happens in this office space. You do. It's wild. And I think I told you that before. And you're starting to... I know you've noticed.
But then there's times it's like really silent. So like me and Corey were sitting here today. I know he's doing Texas, so I can just see his brain smoking.
That's probably his vape, but yeah.
Yeah, that's my brain too. I'm just like printing out the same thing 80 times.
I'm like, I know.
So I'm like, why did I put that in the other expenses category? What is that? Now I got to go back to QuickBooks and change it and put it in whatever I want. You know, I'm like, man, it'd be easy to say I have 2 categories, you know, but instead I got like 50. And then I'm like, where'd I gotta find this 640? Where's it at? You know, and I find 670 of it, and I'm like, well, $10 is fine, whatever. So I can't find that. I don't know, whatever. Let's get on the taxes. And then since we made like $18 gazillion last year, which we did not make $18 gazillion, but I had to do the other form, which is like it doesn't have the easy on the end of it. I love when those forms, you can use those for anything. Nah, not this one. So I'm like day 1 into like day 6. I think there's like 6 days probably into this bad boy. Yeah, it's not dick pic, man. It's not.
Totally does not dick pic.
It does not dick pic the fun we have here, taxes.
No.
No, and I had some guy ask me a couple weeks ago, or maybe it was last week, I don't know, but he was kind of rude about it. He was like, hey, man, who does your books? Who's your accountant? I was like, me. He's like, F off, bro. For real. Give me your guy's number. I was like, well, I don't even know you, dude. You're still not even saved on my phone, but okay. I do them. I'm not an accountant. I asked my brother who is, and he's like, shit, nope. I'm like, I'll pay you. And he's like, that's all right. And I asked like 3 other accountants in the area. They're like, no, I'm good. I'm like, will you help me with them? Well, what do you need to know? How to do them? No, I'm good. I was just going to tell you to put, like, if you get gas, put that in your travel expenses. You know, shit. I can figure that part out. But file them for me. No. So last year it was easy because I could use the easy form. And this year, yeah, it's going to take some time. But it just goes to show you that there's a lot that people can do when they don't think they can. Well, I don't know how. That shouldn't be an excuse. Not in 2024. Because you can figure out how. I got till October 15th to file these bad boys. So I'm glad I started them early this year instead of starting on October 15th like I did last year. Because they fine you. It's like $50 a day. They don't care if you're a nonprofit.
Like we didn't have to pay any taxes. That's how they got his ass. Is they're
Yeah,
like, you ain't gonna be paying us no taxes, so we're just gonna let you go. We're not gonna remind you. Just go on, and it's like day 1,
Everything's
ching,
fine.
day 2,
Ha!
ching.
Got your ass.
Yeah.
2 times because you can't drive.
It's like
Well, it can drive. But
somewhere down the line, someone's gonna be like, "How much do you guys paid for taxes?" Well, we're not supposed to pay any, but we have paid this. They got sneaky about it.
we ain't paying taxes. We got fined $1,900 for not filing taxes on time. Yeah.
Yeah.
Glad it was nice and even. If I'd have waited another day and added $50 to it.
Yeah, they'll find a way if you don't get on that and start and do it.
Yeah. It's yeah. And there's like 80 other things I'm doing all the time, it seems like, too. So that's what I was. And Mitch, you're kind of in the same boat. Like, you've taken on different, like, you're doing this podcast, you're doing that podcast, you got a son, you're trying to be social, you know, like, it's hard to balance it all, man. Mm-hmm. You know,
You end up staying up until 1 o'clock in the morning just so you can talk to everybody that you're trying to, be around. Be here, then you go home with your kid. The other day I was like, I've committed my time to 4 podcasts. And it didn't seem like a lot until I was doing them.
yeah, it takes time, especially when you're the one editing them and you're putting things together. That takes the most time, obviously.
It really dick pics my whole day.
Yeah, just dick picks you right up. But
Be a real Tigger sometimes. Sorry. I couldn't go. It's been here. It's been here this whole time. I had to.
Letting it all
Obviously.
out because he ain't here right now to defend himself. So
Well, we made up the Tigger one.
what's out of his book?
I'm never going to be able to look at Winnie the Pooh again. The Pooh and his friend, his Tigger friend. Obviously. The best part is Tigger has that energy, man.
what energy?
You know.
I was
You
just-
know. You're laughing because you see
Just
it.
making the statement. I was making the statement, man.
You know.
You're gonna see Justin hopping on his.
I'm like, Justin, what's up? He'd be like,
Fabulous.
oh, okay. Bump, 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 bump.
Oh, I think I needed this podcast.
No, but it's tough, and we get busy sometimes. And I was Discord, one of my idols. His name is Gordon Keith, and he does radio in Texas. But he does this Discord thing, and he was talking on there, and somebody asked him, you know, what's your biggest vice? And they know he doesn't drink or smoke anymore. And he was like, well, my biggest vice is like would probably be just that I always feel like I never accomplish anything. He's like, I have this long list of things that I want to do and I want to complete. I can never get them done. And there's always something that I didn't plan on that day just happening and just taking me in a different direction. And I'm like, dude, that's how I feel. I think a lot of people feel that way.
Much.
Yeah. And I don't know if you feel that way, Cori, but
Yeah, like time management is not a friend of mine.
no. Mm-hmm. And that's kind of what he said too, because he said he'll find himself on point, on task, and then once he goes off task, which we all have to do, everybody in this world has to do that at some point, and he just spins out of control with it. And
It's so relevant here too with what we do because, like today, somebody should, 217recovery.com. Can you get this guy's treatment? Yep, I'll drop what I'm doing. I'll be there. That's what I do. We're a drop-in center. We had that happen today. That doesn't happen every day, but we had that happen today. We had that happen yesterday. And, it's like you take time out of what you're doing to, sit and talk to people and try to guide them or help them. And it does. Like you kind of have a plan in your head of what you want to get done in that day. But our job is literally to let go of that sometimes to help people.
Yeah.
So,
and today's situation was so frustrating for us because we can only do so much. We're not a homeless shelter. We're not anything like that. And we try to get people connected to the services that we can. And they come in, they're not from our area. So that already is a handcuff. But hey, if we need to eat some gas costs, we will, to get a person safely where they need to go. Well, the rest will all wash out. If we do good will happen to us. So that's kind of how we look at that. But, there were a lot of things in play, and then we're, making phone calls and stuff. And these people are known already. And it's just like, okay, well, and everybody was just kind of acting shady. Like, oh, well, they're trying to get one over on us. Okay. Even if they were, they're asking for help. And we have to do what we can to get them help when they ask for help.
Absolutely.
We can't just be like, oh, well, we don't do that because it's Friday. That's other people can do that. I don't work for other people, But what we do here is the damnedest to get that person where they need to go. And it sucks when we can't facilitate that, and it was out of our hands. Like if there was a place for that person to go or those people to go or whatever, we would have taken them. But there was just no place. And next thing you know, it's 2:30 and it's like, well, it's 2:30 and it's a Friday. So,
yeah,
like the chances of you getting to a place, because the closest place to us is out. Well, they already said no. It would have to be next week. So it's just like hour and a half away. What's next?
yeah.
It's 3 hours to get up north. It's, 4 hours to Detroit. Where are you going to go? Sometimes hope does stop at 5 o'clock on Friday.
Mm-hmm. Unfortunately.
And that's too bad. Sometimes it doesn't, but most places they're businesses and they have to go home and see their families too. And I don't know. It's just frustrating, and you kind of feel like you lose sometimes. And I don't want us to feel like we lost, because we couldn't connect someone, but we did all that we could. Do you feel that, Cori?
Yeah. I mean, we tried. We called 2 different places. We let them use our work phones to call and do an intake. And, there was stipulations and rules at that one that were, the client didn't want to agree with. And then the other place, they couldn't take the one until Tuesday. And, I had gave the best suggestion, but like, again, that's just a suggestion. Like, hey, I would call this place and at least get the intake process done. So if worse comes to worse, Tuesday you have a place to go. And that, well, it's not today. So, I did the best we could. And I offered that, we have meetings here on Saturday and Sunday, and that they are welcome to come and attend our meetings. And, I wish them the best of luck and in hopes that they can, find a place and get to where they need to go. But I mean, there's two sides of it. Like, I sit here and I want to I want to get them somewhere, but at the same time, like, was I working harder than them to get there?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and there was a place in Grand Rapids that was like, come on down. And I'm talking about Guiding Light. And we refer people there a lot. And that's when you can really kind of sort out the people that are just saying the stuff that they need to say to try to get in somewhere, and the people that are actually wanting it, because the people that are wanting it go.
So here's a possible plug for them and a question for you, because I wasn't sure. Is there...
Totally does not dick pic.
Doesn't dick pic the question.
Is there women's open?
Yes.
Awesome. So I know before they were talking about June, and I just hadn't followed up with them since July, I think maybe the end of June.
Yeah.
And so that's cool. That's really cool, because that was a long time in long time in the works.
Yeah, Guiding Light is a kind of a different program. They're not funded through the state. They're run off donations. Mm-hmm. And they have this program. It's long. It's like 9 months, which is how it probably should be. Mm-hmm. And it's not for everybody. Just like every other program isn't for everybody. There's not one that's just tailored for everybody. Everybody's going to be happy. Some people bitch sometimes when they go to a place, oh, I can't vape and I can't smoke and I can't do this. I can't use my phone.
And they make you work out.
Yeah, make me work out, hurt my back. You know, like there's different places that don't work out for. I went through Guiding Light and it didn't work for me, but I still think it's a great program. You know, and it's a place where people can go, especially if they're serious about wanting the change that's needed. You want to change your whole life, give it a shot.
It's great. And
they have like apartments. It's called the Iron Horse or Iron House. Probably would make more sense. It's not a house. It's not a horse. What was that?
Sorry. Excuse me.
Oh, jeez. But
Totally does not dick pic.
Yeah. Okay, so that dick pic's what's going on in the hallway there. Yeah. So I'm glad we got the on air later. But they have this program where you can go live in these apartments. And I was talking to a guy last week. I offered it to him, and he's like, "Well, I'm not trying to do no transitional sober living. I'm not staying in no sober living house." I'm like, "Well, actually, it's an apartment. You have a roommate, and you have to be sober." Yes. Well, I don't want to do all that. I just need a place to live. I'm like, well. Huh? I'm so confused right now. So confused. And I don't know if they would have taken him, but I was like, here's a phone number. He didn't even want it. You know, and it's kind of crazy how some people will be set in their ways. And I'm sure I was like that. I would leave a treatment after a week, after a day. Something wasn't going my way. Nope. Can't do it.
That just shows me that they're not at that absolute defeat yet. Mm-hmm. Not ready to just, make a decision, be that totally humble, like, okay, they got all these rules. Just go there. Just abide by them for today.
Well, I have to be there for my kids, or my kid has this thing, or I'm trying. And the kids, people use that a lot because they think people are just going to be like, oh, we're going to do an exception because you're waiting for your kid. And sometimes they have to go back to jail. They have to go back to prison. Well, how are you going to tell the warden, hey, I need to go out because I need to go to see the judge and get my kid back so I can have him in here? Like, those are your options. Like, if those are your options, that's a bad choice. Yeah. Especially if you're doing it with someone else. Well, I got to protect this person, or I got to stay here for them, or do this for that person. Huh? Yeah. Well, you're going to go back to jail or prison, and you're not going to see your kid for another 5 years then. Like, how's that winning?
Mm-hmm. Or, like, what I was thinking is, like, well, I mean, okay, so you need to go back to court because you're fighting for custody back from your kids. They're going to terminate your rights, but yet, I mean, you're living like this right now, and you're homeless. Like, maybe you should try to go and start helping yourself.
Yeah, mm-hmm. Yeah, but some people, they'll get it twisted, and I would do the same things, man. And I don't know if it's the addiction part or what, and it just makes you make bad decisions.
It was what?
Totally does not dick pic.
Oh, yeah, it doesn't dick pic how I acted.
I'm glad you said what you said, though, because it's hard for me to just not. When I say
obviously
what you said, Cori, the lady one, this is difficult, man. having you both in here, obviously. But it's hard for me to not just kind of drop it and be like, all right, cool, when they start doing that. Because for my, and I think you guys can relate, but for me, it never worked when I started to do the but this, but that, but this, but that. And the last time was when I let go of all of everything and put the recovery first.
Right.
Everything I didn't want to do, I let it go. And if they wanted me to do it, that's what I did.
Yep.
And it worked.
Yeah.
Yep.
I had to stop doing a lot of things I like doing and start doing a lot of things I don't like doing.
Yeah, things you need to do. That's how I looked at it. Want and need.
Yep.
Do I want to? I remember having that debate with myself when I was at the treatment center last time, and I'm sitting there at the table. I'm making a pros and cons list, and I turned it into wants and needs list. And do I want to go to sober living and live with 18 guys or whatever it was? No. Do I need to? Yes. What's going to happen to me if I go there? Am I afraid I'm going to catch some sobriety time? Like what's the worst that's going to happen? Am I not going to like somebody? Okay, there's a lot of people I don't like, and I learned that last time in treatment too, how to not only control the things that I can control. That might have to be a drop because it didn't make any sense. But I also learned that not everything's Jesus Christ, what's happening here?
He walked in the door.
Thanks again for listening.
It's an energy.
Yeah. So it was, if I can get words out the mouth, I can't control what other people do, and I only have to worry about the things that I can control. I need some applause now. Yes.
You did it. Yeah.
That was what I was trying to say. Yes. Thank you. And it made my life so much easier, and it was a better way to navigate through your life and through the things that you're going through. So I don't know, but when people get caught up in other people's problems or other people's business or other people's things, start doing it for someone else, it just doesn't work. But yeah, if you can make that wants and needs list, it'll really help you kind of determine. But a lot of people aren't ready, and I wasn't ready for the longest time because I still wanted to drink one day. I'll wait 5 years and I'll drink. I couldn't wait 2 weeks sometimes after leaving treatment.
Mm-hmm.
I always like to say too, from working over inside detox and seeing some clients, I'd ask them what is it that you have to lose right now?
Well, my job, man.
You're gonna lose that.
My house,
Yeah.
man. They like money too. Mm-hmm. And you're gonna start over at some point. Just come back when you're ready. Then that's what you kind of have to tell them. And
do you want to push this all the way to the edge and lose your life?
Yeah, that happens too.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just a. Oh, I changed the thing. This is quite the podcast that we got going. It's from the jump.
It's been a real Tigger from the beginning. Bouncing all over the place is what I was referring to.
Not our finest, but hey, we're gonna wrap it up anyway because at least we did one, right?
It made me feel better.
We made it here on a Friday.
Yeah, that's true, and it's better than nothing, I guess.
Yeah.
I mean, if you got a couple of laughs out of it, cool, great.
It was more than a couple.
Yeah, but it's been a minute since we've done a 217 recovery podcast, and Cori, was your first week, so we wanted to kind of bring you in at some point too, and get you on mic and say hello and introduce you to the world. So,
Yep, I'm here. So come on in, stop by 9 to 5, Monday through Friday.
Welcome.
There you go, 945 East 8th Street, Suite B, Traverse City, Michigan.
Come say hi, ask about some services. We could possibly start a new meeting.
Mm-hmm. We have moving services in the background.
Yes, we do. Yes, we do. But yeah, thanks for tuning in, and we'll talk to you again later.
Bye.
Peace out.
Thanks for listening to the 217 Recovery Podcast. Listen to over 900 episodes on the 217 Recovery app that's free in your app store or online at 217recovery.com.